Mr. Jones. Tonight I want to talk to you about the issue that you brought to me at our last board meeting. And this is the State of Technology address that I want to present to you tonight in lieu of the issues that were brought to me at the last board meeting, in which you asked me to create a State of Technology address. So this is what I will be presenting to you tonight. And tonight we're going to look at several issues. Um, those are highlighted on the screen. We're going to look at the hardware and software of our district, student access, student security, teacher practice, and the student skills in relationship of our technology in our district. You asked me to look and develop some standards to address each of these issues in the method of assessment we utilize in our district, and then to conduct a field test in one of our schools, and I chose Smith High School. So first and foremost, I want us to define what is technology and the rationale behind that. And I looked at that and found that at the U.S. Department of Education's website, and they define technology as it ushers in a fundamental structural change that can be an integral part in achieving significant improvements in productivity. And technology is used to support both teaching and learning. Technology infuses classrooms with digital learning tools such as computers and handheld devices. It expands course offerings, experiences, and learning materials, supports learning 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It builds those 21st century skills, increases student engagement and motivation, and accelerates learning. Technology also has the power to transform teaching by ushering in a new model of connected teaching. And this model links teachers to their students and to professional content, resources, and systems to help them improve their own instruction and personalized learning. So tonight in this State of Technology address, I hope that we leave here tonight and really feel like that this address addresses what the Department of Education defines as technology. Dr. Terry Gray, who is an author and a consultant, says that we need to craft and implement a technology plan built upon a foundation of objectives that target student achievement, as well as return on investment, and then an audit can test whether or not the desired ends have been achieved. And that's really where my focus has been in this audit, is that we really have done and we do this with fidelity. And so tonight, as we move through this, this will be from which the foundation I've worked from in order to develop this address to you tonight. So I begin the process in looking at these 6 areas from left to right of where is our technology plan? Do we have one? And what does it look like? What is our objective in meeting this audit? What is our return on investment for student learning? And that should be our focus. And that leads into our students achieving what are our assets as far as technology is concerned, and what is our desired outcomes. In the last board meeting, you all addressed myself, and then I worked with the assistant superintendent, and we have created a document that defined uh, these areas that you wish for me to address, and wanted to create an assessment instrument and then report back to you. So we will be answering some questions, and I will be presenting to you tonight these in these 6 areas. For technology audit to be completed, we first need to look and see what kind of audit that we completed in our district, and we completed a level 1 audit. There are actually 3 levels in audit, so we completed a level 1 audit. It's an internal audit because it was done inside with the stakeholders of our district. It was utilized by creating local audit teams, and those teams are comprised of teachers and staff and community members. And in the level 1 audit, after that's completed, the results are presented to the school board, and then ultimately that report, if you so choose, that report will be submitted to the public. The research behind that audit was developed from 3 primary sources: the National Technology Plan from the U.S. Department of Education, and you're very familiar with that because That technology plan is what set E-rate funding for our schools back in the 1990s. And then the National Center for Technology Planning, and then ISTE, which is the International Society for Technology Education. And these are the standards from which, the national standards from which uh, we have driven our audit plan. And these standards, there are many standards in each one of these areas, and they're standards for students and for teachers and administrators. And I just wanted to highlight for you and show you the areas of the standards. You can see for students that they move from creative and innovation, collaboration, fluency, problem solving, making sure that our students are digital citizens when they're using technology, and then to the operations and concepts of technology use. And then for teachers, it focuses on how are the teachers utilizing technology for student learning and creativity, um, digital age learning experiences and assessment, digital age work and learning, citizenship and responsibility, and then for teachers, professional growth and leadership. And then finally, issue standards addressed for administrators, visionary leadership, digital age learning, culture, excellence in professional practice, that systematic improvement for student success, and then digital citizenship. So in order to begin a technology audit, one must have a technology plan. And in that technology plan, there's some very key um, documents and assessments that need to be completed before the technology plan audit can be started. So where I started with the assistant superintendent is we begin to look at our current technology plan, curriculum plan, and facilities plan, and begin to ask these questions and collaboratively worked and set forth to see where we were as far as the district. We know, based off of your concerns at the last meeting, that we have spent an enormous amount of money in technology purchases, and so we really wanted to see where we were just overall as a district before we begin the audit. So we assessed, first of all, our technology plan to see if we had one, when it was created, was it being utilized, was it being updated annually, was there a planning committee that developed this, does it focus on the goals of our district, and I want to stop and make a point right here. Everything that we move forth in this audit plan, audit and plan, in assessing, evaluating, um, anything that we do should focus on our district's goals, and that includes our mission and our vision. And in that technology plan, we wanted to know, is there an authentic evaluation process, and how often that's being done? And does that plan evaluate not only the technology plan itself, but does it evaluate deeper into the curriculum and the budgeting and hiring practices? And then finally, is there a plan for administrative approval, which includes the chain of command from building level principals, the superintendent, to you as a board? The second thing that we looked at was our facilities inventory. And in that facilities inventory, we wanted to focus on where documents that are prevalent to district integration efforts are they demonstrated, where are they housed, and who is responsible for the maintenance of this database. Are they kept electronically, so that there's some transparency within the district? And where are the assessment methods of the hardware and software utilized in the district? And then what are the security measures in place to protect our students and staff in the district? And finally, what are how are facilities evaluated for teacher and student effectiveness in the district? And then finally, the curriculum plan, what are the dedicated technology resources allocated for instruction? How are these resources documented? How are these resources evaluated for effectiveness in a relationship to a clear focus on student success? Who maintains these documents, and how are they maintained electronically? So as the assistant superintendent and I worked through these questions we began to see that we didn't have all the answers in the inventory that we were trying to complete. And with the lack of answers and some very clear answers, we knew we had work to do, and it further validated the reason of why we needed the technology audit. We know that we do not have a technology coordinator in our district, and some of these answers that are in the aforementioned slides are part of that responsibility. But we know that we must overcome that issue and figure out a way so that we meet the needs of our students to find a way to, to validate these questions and to put an answer behind those questions so that we have a clear plan in the end so that we can um, focus on providing the best education for our students. And then we looked at our personnel plan. I apologize, this is the final one. And we wanted to know, are there any dedicated personnel in our district, and who are these staff members, and how is that time dedicated? And this goes back to addressing the issue of not having the technology person in place. So really looking at overall the operational procedures of the district and is there a plan, is there a procedure, and how do we achieve this, going back to focusing on our vision for our district and who is involved in this, in the technology just in general of our district. And once we uh, knew this, we knew that we were set in where we wanted to move as far as our audit goes of Smith High School. And one final part of the inventory is that we really wanted to know that from a financial perspective about the financial resources. And this delved down into the devices, the value, who maintains these, and where these were used as far as student achievement. And we were really aware of this in our district. We knew the allocations based off of your previous sharing of information, but we wanted to go ahead and document this here in our plan as well. So we were very clear about where we wanted to start with our technology audit. We wanted to set some goals in the audit, and so we wanted to highlight those here. And so the four goals were to complete the audit to correlate with our technology plan and funding to every school in the district, assess student performance in correlation to that technology use, and not only the use but also the devices that were being used. Assess the personnel that were being used currently in our district for support and maintenance, and then reevaluate any policies that we had in place, particularly focusing in on those that were in place for safety and security for our students. And from that, we decided to develop a survey protocol with stakeholders in order to complete our technology audit. So in a level 1 audit, there are 3 phases, and the first phase is to complete a pre-audit. And in the pre-audit, this is what we collaboratively work together to develop in our district. So we developed a set of systems to become more efficient in performing this function, and this included that the team I previously shared with you about, which included that internal team of auditors. And this was teachers, students, parents, community members, and even though that we were going to, we knew that the audit was going to be conducted on the high school, we included um, stakeholders from all schools in our district. The second part of the pre-audit that we wanted to complete was we wanted to engage this team in a process for them to have buy-in and to brainstorm ideas from them, and so that they develop a rich understanding of our resources, to develop a relationship with them, so that they would share their issues and needs that surrounded technology use and the integration of that technology in our district, and then elaborate with the members so that they knew what was going to occur in the district, what it involved, who was going to be impacted, and why it was going to be beneficial to our district. And then finally, with the collaborative effort of that team, we wanted to develop that method to complete the technology audit of the high school, and that would be with the survey. So these are the results of the surveys that were conducted in the with the administrators, the teachers, and the students. And you can see that these are the questions that we administered electronically, and they range. Some of the questions are similar, and some of them are different. It just depends if we wanted to do a survey that met the needs of those three in those three areas. And so you can see that on the first question for the administrators, how long does it take to receive tech support? And the results demonstrate that we do have work there to be addressed because the majority demonstrated more than several days. The second question, the rate of quality, um, again, an area of it has to do with the rate of quality of the connection of the internet, and they thought that it was adequate. So not sufficient in, but not where we probably want to be with our measurable mark of being good there. The third question of the internet usage policy, um, I think it's lack of understanding. Just follow-up questions as we ask after we have completed the surveys and then talking additionally to other staff members. It's lack of understanding of the policy itself. And then four is just the rating of their computer skills. And we asked questions where they had to strongly agree or disagree on questions related to their skills on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being strongly disagree to 5 being strongly agree. Questions were in relationship to find technology, demonstrating technology use, and helping support technology training in the for professional development. The teacher surveys, again, you can see the questions. I'm not going to read those verbatim, but basically we asked some of the same questions about technical support. Again, we still have work to do there in our district because the response time is longer than what we feel is adequate, um, and what I feel is adequate for our district. Um, Again, the mixed results about um, internet access and usage policy as well. The survey also showed the percentage of students who use technology on a daily basis at 75% or more, or 100% in the light green and brown color, which is very, very high usage for our district. And um, the last question was, how often does your student use software in your class? And so what we now know is that due to the fact that most things are found on the internet and are not software based, that we are moving away from that in the district, in our district, whereas just 4 to 5 years ago, that was an issue as far as server capacity. In our student surveys, we asked, of course, what grade they were in, and do you use your computer for schoolwork, and how often they're creating something, and do their teachers like using technology, and some mixed results there as well. The second phase of the technology audit was the on-site visit to the high school where we use the surveys, and this is just highlighting how we use them, um, how we completed them electronically, who they were administered to, what we were trying to measure in those, um, surveys and focusing on teaching and learning, security, equity, access, leadership, and then a debriefing meeting was held upon the completion of the audit with a post-audit meeting planned within a week. In our post-audit meeting, the survey results were discussed with each item from the technology audit. And this post-audit meeting was held with each team member of that internal audit team. And we took each item and developed an action plan for every area that we felt that cited below proficiency. Um, and then in this collaborative nature, felt that that was the right way to pursue this part of the survey. And the action plan focused back on the district's vision and mission statement um, and how we wanted for the district to pursue each one of these deficiencies as a whole. Um, and after we looked at those, where we felt that they were below proficiency, all critical areas were compiled in a report and focused specifically on um, three areas of learning, teaching, and student development. So after the audit, this plan is going to be developed and monitored and evaluated on a continuous basis. It's not just a one-shot wonder. It's something that we want to continue in our district so that we go back and address the issues not only that were brought up in the audit for the high school, but also how can we further put this into place for other conduct this, excuse me, how can we conduct this in our other schools, and then analyze those results, and then reevaluate our questions from the initial plan that we put forth, addressing the areas from like facilities and the finances and curriculum, so that we monitor and evaluate that on a continuous basis, of what I would hope would be a yearly basis in our district. Before I close the presentation, I want to say that at the very beginning, I addressed the issue that you had brought to me earlier, and you asked me as a superintendent if I would um, conduct an audit and address areas: hardware, software, student access, security, teacher practices, and student skills. And we so chose to do that in a survey. As a result of that, and we used the standards, the ESTE standards, and as a result of that survey, what we have found is that we do not have an adequate um, plan that we go back and evaluate a district as a whole. And what we need to do is we need to go back and develop that plan. That will take some time. It will take some dedication of some staff members and utilization of some clear communication within our district. There's been some money involved in the spending of technology, but the survey results show, especially from the teacher's perspective, that this technology is being utilized in the classroom for teacher instruction and a focus on student achievement and student learning. So as a result of this, I think that this district has a clear rationale for the use of its technology, which is to improve student learning. But just on the right, you can see that there's a picture with um, students' hands raised, and there's all different kinds of devices placed in their hands. And I got this from a website called Edutopia. And, um, it's a quote, and it says that simply adding technology in the environment does not improve learning. What matters is how students, teachers are using the technology to develop the knowledge in the classroom. So that final thought, I would like for you to focus in over the course of the next few months that as we work through a plan to incorporate a true technology plan in our district and further our audit of our other schools, that we really do set forth an action plan to address the overall components of not only our technology that we have in place, but how it is impacting student learning and developing the knowledge and skills of our students and their learning. Thank you so much for giving me again this opportunity to present this to you tonight. It's been a very eye-opening effort um, for not only myself but also for the assistant superintendent to work in this collaborative forum and to be able to present to you the state of technology address and highlight for you the issues that you brought. I'd like to take an opportunity to thank the assistant superintendent for all of her hard work and making sure that surveys were developed and created, and appreciate her assistance in this matter, and the teacher teams and students and community members and staff members that were part of the internal audit and helping in putting that for our district.